Greetings. My name is Tamala Farron, and welcome. Tonight I would like to talk about energy. Energy that others may bring into your home, energy that others have around them. Now, as I raised my kids the same way that my mom and dad raised me, I taught them if it's another person's tool for magic, if it's an altar, if it's a tarot deck, if it's jewelry, anything of that nature, and you don't touch unless you ask. Now, that went for all sorts of personal items as well, but magical stuff really geared to that. And I tend to keep a very protective watch over my magical stuff. So when the kids were little, they knew better than to touch anything on Mama's altar, on Daddy's altar. They respected their own altars enough to know, or dedication sites enough to know, that they weren't to touch each other's stuff. We raised 6 kids, so of course we had a lot of stuff. But our kids are really good about everything. They understood that energy can transfer onto, and if they were angry or yelling at each other or upset with one another about something, they could hand that into the tool of magic. And it's just like people coming into your home. When you have people coming into your house, you don't know what they're bringing in with them. If they've had a really bad day at work, if they've had an argument with their spouse, if they've had a really bad friendship chiseling away at their emotions, all this can transfer. It's just like if somebody who comes into your house who you don't know very well and is really bitter or angry or jealous or upset about things, maybe even about you, and you don't even have a clue about this, they can transfer that stuff onto you, your home, and your family. So I've always been very protective and careful with who comes into my home, who touches anything of mine. Especially my altar is off limits to everyone. There have been 1 or 2 instances where I'll be showing something that Ron made for me, and I'm really proud of it, and I'll show them the carving or whatever, and when they're done, I'll either smudge it or I will cleanse it in another way before putting it back on the altar. I'm always careful, and I'm always good at taking care of my own energy and protecting myself, whether I'm doing a ritual or I'm just cleaning the house or I'm doing a reading. Everything has to have a level of protection to make sure that it is safe, that it's good. Because I won't even work magic if I'm sick. If I'm sick, or I have a really bad migraine, or I'm in a real ill mood, like real nasty mood, I won't work magic like that. I feel that I have to be balanced and grounded, and that my home has to be purified and blessed to be able to use the enhanced energy, positive energy, that we want to draw from nature into our magic. And it helps with ourselves being balanced. And meditation is a really great way of grounding. It's a great way of centering and totally focusing on the ritual or spell at hand. So it's a real tricky issue because you don't want to come off sounding really crass and rude and whatnot. But if you have somebody over that isn't pagan and perhaps Christian, just explain to them, would you like it somebody walked into your church and defiled your priest's altar? They'll definitely say, oh, no, I understand now. And if it is another person, another witch that is over that you don't know very well, just set some ground rules up. Let them know, say, if you want to see something, ask. I'll let you know. But I'm very protective, and I really, really would appreciate it because the respect goes both ways. And I've had people come and go in the pagan community. Some really bitter and loving to harm others type thing, that they definitely go. And some out of being new to the craft didn't understand the respect values. Now, not everybody cares about whether enough if their stuff is touched or handled or looked at. And that's their choice. Everybody has a choice in this matter. But we need to take the responsibility for our actions. And if somebody is going over and aboard the realm of trying to keep things peaceful and harmonious and loving within their home, then we, as brothers and sisters in the craft, should respect them for this. It's common courtesy. So if you are invited to somebody else's house, you just don't, or you ask. You don't handle things, especially if it's on an altar or if it's a shrine or dedication site. You really, really don't. It's common courtesy. And it even stems from a personal bubble around you, okay? Now, I'm a hugger. I love hugging people. There isn't a time that one of my kids or Ron walks out of this house, they don't get a hug. They get told they're cared about, they're loved. They're told that, be careful, be safe when you're out. That's just me. I'm also the person that calls everybody hun and sweetie and my lovelies, and I've always been that way. But there are a lot of people, especially now that the pandemic's going through, that people don't want to be around that. They don't want to hug. They don't want to get close. And that's understandable. Completely. So energy transference of that way is another personal preference. Respect, honor. and love one another. You have a great night. Please click like and subscribe, and blessings unto all. So mote it be.